These are the top 7 view neighborhoods in Camas, Washington. Hey, welcome back to Living in Vancouver and Camas, Washington YouTube channel. I'm your host, Hannah Dubyne, and I'm super glad you're here today because we're talking about view neighborhoods in Camas. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know we love talking about Camas. It's where I live, it's where our office is that I'm sitting in right now, and I often get requests for my buyers for a view of the river, a view of trees, a view of Mount Hood, and so I'm going over my top 7 neighborhoods for views today. By the way, if you're new here, you should sign up for our Weekend Happenings with Hannah email list down below. We send out a whole bunch of fun events. We locally curate it just for you guys every single weekend, and we send out videos, other fun tips, so sign up down below. All right, let's talk about top 7 view neighborhoods. Yes, this is what I love talking about, neighborhoods. So I don't really have these in a particular order because they all have different views and it's hard to compare them in a 1, 2, 3 type of way. So take it for what you will. And if I miss any neighborhoods, I can't fit all of them into this one video. There's other neighborhoods with great views in Camas. Please feel free to comment down below what else you would like to add to the list. All right, my first neighborhood is the Columbia Palisades neighborhood. We have videos up about Columbia Palisades. If you want to check out that whole development, go ahead and watch those. We'll have the link down below. But the Columbia Palisades has 2 rows of homes up at the top of the ridge. Those homes were originally for sale as lots, actually. And this is when you could buy a lot and bring whatever custom builder you wanted. So the homes are absolutely gorgeous and they totally take advantage of full river views, and they're looking over what will be in the future the Columbia Palisades development. It is a little bit of a noisy spot because you're close to the 14 and then you have 192nd Avenue down there. But I think with some more buildings, you'll have a little bit more insulation. Definitely one of the best views in Camas. And if you don't live there, there is a viewpoint at the top. You can go sneak a view. My next view neighborhood in Camas that you should have on your radar is Grand Ridge. Grand Ridge is a neighborhood that was built in the early 2000s and it's got a lot of beautiful homes. Mostly larger homes. I'd say most of those homes are over 3,000 square feet. Some of them very formal, very regal. There's a couple colonial style homes in there. There's a lot of, Pacific Northwest type stuff. But as you go up the hill, you're right at the top, and a lot of those homes have double decks looking out, and they just have really, really amazing views. Grand Ridge is right off of Brady Street, so it's kind of right as you're going up Prune Hill and there's nothing else blocking it. It's amazing. Next neighborhood on my list is Columbia Summit Estates. If you've lived in Camas a long time, you know that Columbia Summit Estates is a staple neighborhood of Prune Hill. It's pretty much right at the top of Prune Hill, and it overlooks the backside of Prune Hill. So Grand Ridge is looking out more south towards the river, and Columbia Summit Estates, I would say, is looking, what would that be? West, maybe kind of northwest too, depending on exactly which way your home is facing. Columbia Summit Estates is an 80s and 90s neighborhood. It's got large lots. The homes are very 90s, I will say that. Some of them need updating. Some of them are on, I already said that. Some of them are on really large lots, which is wonderful. They're overlooking, you can see the river in the distance, but it's gonna be farther away than Grand Ridge. And you get views of Grass Valley too, which is super great. The 4th neighborhood on my list is Summit at Columbia Vista. Now don't confuse this with Columbia Summit Estates. I know, it's the same exact words, just a different order. But Summit at Columbia Vista is a different neighborhood. It is down the hill slightly from Columbia Summit Estates. It is a newer neighborhood. I believe I've done videos on it before. It was built 2010s to, I don't know, there were some homes there that were still built 2020-ish. So a lot newer, open concept, right? It's a partially gated neighborhood. A lot of those homes were built by Cascade West, custom home builder in the area that people love. And they are overlooking Grass Valley. That's really the amazing view that they have. I walk up in this neighborhood sometimes because it's really beautiful to walk in, and I can get a view in between the homes, and it is so, so pretty. On the west side of 𝐂𝐤𝐿 Street, there's a whole bunch of homes that are either 1 level with basement or they're 2 levels with a basement. So they have either 2 or 3 decks, and they're totally up above everyone else, and they have the most gorgeous views. They do not have usable yards because of where they're placed. like practically usable yards. I'm sure you could still go in the yard, but it's not super accessible. But you get that view, and it is unreal when the sun is setting over Grass Valley. It's so, so pretty. So if you're looking for a view of Grass Valley, this is a great neighborhood for you. Next neighborhood on my list, neighborhood number 5, is 𝐿'𝐴𝐻𝐻 Shores. 𝐿'𝐴𝐻𝐻 Shores is a staple of the Camas community. It's been around for a long time, late 80s, mostly 90s homes in there. It was the original super nice, fancy neighborhood to live in, and it still is one of the top 5 for sure. This is really the prime neighborhood if you want a view of 𝐿'𝐴𝐻𝐻 Lake. There are very few neighborhoods around 𝐿'𝐴𝐻𝐻 Lake right now. 𝐿'𝐴𝐻𝐻 Shores is one of them. There's a Toll Brothers community going on the north side right now that has some amount of water views, but really 𝐿'𝐴𝐻𝐻 Shores is the neighborhood to be in for views of the lake. The homes on the north side are gonna have, I would say, the best views, the most unobstructed views. Those are also, of course, the most expensive since they're the most coveted lots. And some of the homes have trees that either partially or mostly block the views. And those trees are either a part of the Heritage Trail or they're part of the HOA area. So, the owners that are wanting to have the view can't just go cut them down. And so I will say that. And if you get further back in the neighborhood, you go up a little bit. And so you may be able to find a home that has decks off of the front, where you'd also be able to get a view. And of course, there's homes further back in the neighborhood as well that would have back decks that have views. I think it goes without saying, all of these neighborhoods are really pretty expensive to live in, well above the median sales price. 𝐿'𝐴𝐻𝐻 Shores is probably one of the most expensive. I'm filming this in 2024. Sales prices in there don't really get below 1.2, 1.3 million, and they go up into even the $3 million mark. Those homes can be really, really big, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 square feet. It's crazy. The 6th neighborhood on my list for a fabulous view is Dawsons Ridge. Dawsons Ridge is an amazing neighborhood. It is a gated community, and so I haven't been able to sneak my way in there for a video because that gate is closed now that construction is over. But this was the former Parade of Homes neighborhood. I can't remember off the top of my head if it was 2018 or 2019, but it was one of those 2 years. And the homes on the south side have really nice views overlooking the Columbia. This is at the south part of Prune Hill. It was part of the Brandon Dawson estate, so his house is on the east side, and he subdivided off the rest of his property, named it after himself, Dawsons Ridge, and sold off those lots. But those are some of the nicest homes in Camas. I would say Dawsons Ridge and the Parklands are the 2 most relevant high-end gated neighborhoods in Camas right now. And there's probably not gonna be anything else like it just because those lots are so big, and it's gonna be difficult to have big lots going forward. Anyway, sorry, realtor me is talking about house stuff, but y'all wanna know about views. Only those lots on the south side are gonna have views, and they're coveted views. It's the river. They're really expensive. I don't think any of those view lots have resold yet because people just finished their dream homes. But in the future, I'm sure we'll see some listings come up for sale there. All right, neighborhood number 7 is technically a cheat neighborhood because it's not in Camas, but I had to add it to this list because it's so iconic, and that would be the Lookout Ridge neighborhood. Lookout Ridge is in Washougal technically. It's east of Crown Road, so it's in that area off of Crown Road where it's got a Washougal address, but it goes to Camas schools. If you are considering living in Camas, you should also consider these neighborhoods off of Crown Road because they're gonna be slightly less expensive than Camas, slightly less competitive because they don't have that Camas brand name, but you're gonna still be in the school district, and you can just go down Crown Road, take a right, and within 3-4 minutes, you're in Camas, so you're not far at all. Lookout Ridge is literally a ridge. It's just a super steep hill. It would be a little dicey to get up in the winter if it's snowy or icy, but it has 180 plus degree views of the river. It has homes on the south side that are gonna have like views off the back that are more premium, and those homes are gonna have double, sometimes triple decks. And then the homes on the north side of the road are usually front view homes where you can come in on floor 1, and then on floor 2, up where your master is, you might have a view off of your bedroom. Please do not sleep on Lookout Ridge. I have a lot of clients that have moved in there and they've loved it. It is a wonderful place to be. Well, that is my top 7 list for view neighborhoods in Camas. I realize I didn't hit them all, so if there's another neighborhood you would include on the list, feel free to comment it down below. We thank you so much for watching, and if you're thinking about selling or buying a home in Clark County, Camas, Vancouver, Washington, we'd love to be of service to you at Dubyne Realty Group. So send us a text, email us, DM us on Instagram, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.